Hey guys, it's Erica Galinas with Century 21 Affiliated here for our Ask the Agent segment. This week we are going to talk about love letters, and not love letters in the romantic traditional sense, but love letters is a term that the industry uses for the letters a buyer writes to a seller about how much they love the house and we can't wait to move in and it's going to be awesome. In our competitive market right now, I have seen more love letters from buyers on my listings than any other time in my entire career. Things are so competitive. We have such low inventory. You can bid up as much as you want, but you kind of want to give yourself an extra little edge, and maybe these people will like you and it'll be, put you over the top. And I'm here to say, don't write love letters. Don't send them to agents. I won't use them. I don't have my buyers write them. I don't show them to my sellers when I do listings. And there's a couple big reasons why. So what they are basically, like I said, is you are in a competitive offer situation for this house that honestly you totally love, and it absolutely will be perfect for you, whether you're a family, whether it's just you, because it's close to your mom's house, because it's close to your kid's school, like all these different things. I completely understand why you would want to write a love letter. I have less understanding why a real estate agent would encourage you to write one, but we'll talk about that why a little bit later. It is thought that if you can pull that emotional string on a seller, so maybe you are tied at first place to the offer on this house for $350,000, and neither one of you and the other offer wants inspections, and you're looking for some edge. I completely understand it, but as I said, it's a bad idea. It can actually be dangerous for you to do that. Most of the letters I've seen, most of my listings, ultimately I usually work in single family real estate markets. So most of the letters I've seen talk about family, they talk about proximity to work or other family members like mom or grandkids or something like that. And I understand that the idea is to be like, this one is perfect for us for these very specific reasons. Please pick us. But the biggest problem with these letters, this is why I don't understand why real estate agents continue to encourage this. I've had, like I said, multiple offers on a bunch of different listings, and, the buyer's agent says, oh, and I sent a letter along, or they'll say, oh, looks like that letter really helped us. And I tell them I don't turn over those letters. There's one rather large reason why in a public sense. These letters can very easily slip into fair housing violations. Nobody means it. I would assume 99.9% of the people who write these letters don't actually mean to commit a fair housing violation. But fair housing law in real estate and in other industries can be kind of tricky. I'm sure you've read about different kinds of lawsuits and accusations and weirdness, and you read about them and you're like, well, it doesn't sound that bad. But when you look at fair housing law and fair housing ethics, they absolutely can be that bad, to the point where me as your agent, the sellers and the sellers' agents, plus all their brokerage companies, can get embroiled in lawsuits. That's not super common, but it's absolutely something that happens. So let's say, again, I'm assuming you're not a blatant racist or sexist or something like that. So let's say you write this wonderful letter about how you love their home and you guys have been looking for like 6 months and it's perfect because it's like 3 blocks away from grandma's house. You can just, picture your kids running down the stairs on Christmas morning to open their presents, just like you did when you were a kid and you lived in, Idaho or something like that. So let's break that down. Two pretty, I don't want to say significant fair housing violations, but 2 blatant fair housing violations. One, probably pretty easy, probably one you can think of. You mentioned the fact that you have kids. Discriminating against people who do or do not have children is technically a fair housing violation. So that's a big one right there, one that everybody could pick up. The second one, a little bit harder to figure out. It is that your kids, will be running down the stairs on Christmas morning. Not something a lot of people would think about. Christmas is, obviously, pretty normal in most parts of the world, and, there's a lot of different things, but the fact remains, it's a religious holiday. So if you have, a seller who is Christian and you write this letter and they, even if they think of it specifically, even if it's just in the back of their mind only, they pick you because, Christmas, hey, that's technically a fair housing violation based on religion. I don't know how strongly people would want to, attempt to prosecute for fair housing violations based on that, but it is a violation. And in a competitive market like this, tempers get flared and things get ragged, and small things that you don't even think about, don't even realize, can absolutely blow up into something questionable, particularly if something else goes wrong in the deal and then they're like, boop, well, what about this letter here? It can be very problematic. So in the interest of fair housing, please, please, please do not write a letter. As I said, I do not encourage my buyers to write them. I've never had one write one, but if they did and handed it to me, I would not send it along to the seller. And as a seller's agent, I do not give those letters to them when we review offers. I legally do not have to. They are not considered part of the purchase agreement that I'm required to discuss with them, and I put them to the side. So the second big thing, fair housing is the obvious big thing. National Association of Realtors, different MLSs around the country, some of them even banned these love letters for that specific reason. But the second thing, and this is more of a personal ethics thing for me, it is my job. I hold a license with the state of Indiana. It is my job to act as a fiduciary for my clients. So that is, it's financial fiduciary. That's the idea. But basically, it charges me with the responsibility to be even-handed and analytical, I guess, for lack of a better word, when working with my clients. And that absolutely includes presenting offers to a seller. So let's say, like my Hebron property, there was 27 offers or whatever we ended up with. 10 or 12 of them probably had a letter attached to them. I kind of glanced through some of them because I was curious, but I certainly did not turn them over to my seller. A, fair housing. B, it is my job to make sure that they are presented with the facts as opposed to this emotional, hocus pocus that may influence their decision. I don't think, as a fiduciary with the state of Indiana, it is correct for me to turn over non-fact based, that's not really what I mean, but how about pro-emotional appeals from clients to purchase a home? As a fiduciary, I don't think I have any business doing that. If you think about it in the same way that if you were an attorney and you're working with somebody and they're writing up their will, and they have $1 million and they have 3 kids and one kid's awesome and one kid's weird and one kid's has problems, would it be acceptable for an attorney to push their client who is writing their will for or against one of their children? Absolutely not. That would be completely outside the realm of their duty to their client. Again, people have emotions. There's nothing wrong with emotions. I have emotions all the time. But as fiduciary, it is my job to make sure those emotions do not enter into any discussions with my client. In addition to the fair housing thing, I am somewhat surprised that real estate agents certainly encourage their buyers to write these letters. I understand that they have seen in the past that it is a way to get an offer accepted, and they see their job as getting that offer accepted, no matter what. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm fiduciary. My sellers, we do all the math. Here's the offers. Here's what you're going to be left with. Here's this, bonus on inspections. Here's this bonus on, home warranty, whatever it is. And at no point do I think it's appropriate for me to try to inject any kind of emotion into the situation. As a matter of fact, I view my job as somebody who is supposed to take the emotion out of the situation. I will tell you, in my years of doing real estate, emotions run high. And in order to manage those emotions, steer everybody to the closing table with the least amount of drama, certainly this letter is not going to do anybody any good to get there. And like I said, I don't think it's my responsibility to get involved like that. So if you are a buyer, and you are thinking of writing a love letter on a property that you're in a multiple offer with, please don't do that. I would maybe also wonder about an agent that would encourage you to do so for the reasons I talked about before, just because, the win is not the important thing so much as the honesty in a transaction. Let's put it that way. In addition to, hey, might get sued because of fair housing violations. Don't write the letter. Sellers, if you have an agent who says that they have letters to go along with these offers to review, don't read them. As a seller, you're in a much more dangerous position that way because, again, people include pictures with these things, which I think is crazy. Here's a picture of my nice family. And in some cases, my nice white family or my nice, Arab family or whatever it is, pro or con on any of those subjects. Those kinds of things can be used down the road in a discrimination lawsuit against you. So if you are a seller and your agent says that there's letters that come along with these offers, do not look at them. Don't know anything about them. Don't care about them. Tell your agent to immediately burn them because it potentially has nothing good to come out of it. A, fair housing lawsuits. B, emotional crap mixed up in your nice analytical financial decision. So that is buyer love letters. Like I said, NAR, different MLSs around the country are banning them, and I could not be happier about that for the reasons I talked about. I think it makes our industry stronger, and I think it makes our real estate market a little bit more honest. So if you have a question for Ask the Agent, just let me know. You can call or text me anytime, 219-765-2062. Email me, hsbyerica@gmail.com is my email address. Comment down below. Share this video if you know somebody who's in a buyer situation, they're kind of stuck. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. If you have any questions about buying or selling, but I'm not in your area, I have connections to an international network of realtors who would be happy to help. Give me a call, text me anytime, 219-765-2062. I'll be happy to give you the name of a realtor in your area. Thanks.